was not the Turkish ambassador. So I said, or he said the Turkish consulate. So then I said, oh, the Turkish carpet cleaner. That's amazing. Oh my God, we have so much blood in the carpet and I cannot get it out. We've been scrubbing it so hard and there's vomit everywhere. And he just starts clamoring up because he's trying to scam me. He doesn't know what to say. So then before he can say anything, I just keep talking and I'm like, oh man, yeah, can you come Tuesday at 2 o'clock? Well, you can't come at 2 o'clock because I got the Flubber convention. You can't come at 2:45 because I got the Turtles montage and you can't come at 3. And I just go on this whole day. And I spent like 5 minutes.
We are live on the OmniDog and T-bone show. T-bone telling one of his great stories. I just can't resist. These are amazing stories that you just won't hear anywhere else because he's the man with the magic mouth. My buddy T-bone.
I'm so glad I didn't get to the explicit part, Jess. It was just approaching.
After I heard vomit and blood, I figured it was time to cut it off.
Welcome. I don't know how I keep falling for this. It's very upsetting to me.
I'm trying to, what is that? Coca-Cola?
A bottle of Coca-Cola, not diet, and we're gonna make it a blockbuster night.
I didn't even know that you drank anything other than Dr. Pepper.
This is in honor of Weasels Everywhere and Diet Coca-Cola.
I actually had a text exchange with Emily from IST this morning that was very funny. She actually totally was in on what a funny joke it was, and
that's amazing.
She ended it. I said that you and Cameron are just loved by everyone in the group, and she said, on behalf of all Diet Coke drinking Weasels everywhere, thank you. And I don't know, it was just hilarious. She was totally in on the joke, so it was funny.
Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. And we're back talking about Black Widow.
We're talking about Black Widow, the second half of Black Widow by Waid and Sam Nee.
Oh yeah.
And this was an excellent run, and
so good.
Yeah, I can't say enough about how great this run is, because it has just been not only nonstop action, but it is well plotted, well told. It's got deep feelings. The Black Widow sticks to her core. I don't know what she did in a past life. I don't know if there's a book out there that says what she did in her past life as a Russian agent, but she's, trying to make up for whatever she did. And she's got some deep feelings and core principles that she's really trying to stick to. Yeah. And in this book, this is issue 12. She is, out to, I know the art is just radically amazing, and she is just out to save these kids that the former Red Room mistress and her daughter have retrained to go out and kill high level diplomats, presidents, vice presidents around the world. And she's out to not kill these kids, but save them and get them deprogrammed and put into homes and save them. And I don't think she's going to mind if she kills the I forget, Recluse is the woman's name.
The Recluse, the girl she grew up with. And they had a really excellent B storyline with Lion and his brother, that just totally subverted my expectations. I can't remember where we left off in the first part of our review. I don't remember exactly the events that happened at the end of chapter 6, but she makes Lion, who is a telepath, work for her.
Right.
And that's notable because Jess and I actually had this conversation the other day about how very few telepaths there are in the Marvel universe who are not mutants. Fun fact, really weird.
Yeah.
But so she makes him work for him. Meanwhile, he's plotting to double cross her because we see this incredible backstory of her one of her first missions as a
I think
kid.
it's her first. Yeah.
Was it her first? Okay, it was her first
Yeah.
mission, and she's sent out to kill this guy who was the lion's uncle and his father. Actually, it was the lion's father, and she goes and kills him in the car, and then she kills his brother, like very violently.
Yeah, viciously.
And then the boy, Lion, is asleep in the back seat, so she doesn't kill him because he doesn't see anything. Well, he wakes up at the end and sees him, and the brother's not dead. He'll never be able to talk because his throat slashed. So like it was extremely violent, extremely ruthless, and now they've been on this lifelong quest to get revenge against her for what she did to their family. And that is running in the background behind the plot with the red room and the headmistress and all of that. And for me, the plot took so many twists that I did not see coming. I mean, how about this twist right here? You remember this?
Let me get you spotlighted. Oh yeah. Look at the colors on that. That's really nice.
I know. I saved it to talk about during the art section, but man, it's so good. But where the headmistress, Lion, shows up and he's going to interrogate her mentally and take all of her secrets, and she kills herself.
Yeah, instead of giving up her secrets right in front of Recluse and everybody.
Oh man, I was blown away by that for sure. And then fast forward a little ways where Lion is planning on betraying Black Widow, and you think there's going to be like some ultimate confrontation, some big showdown where it's like, ooh, we reveal we've been double crossing you this whole time. And instead, Lion sees Nick Fury, who has now at this point in the Marvel Universe taken the Watcher's eye and become, I can't remember what he called himself. The unseen, the unforeseen,
something like that. Yeah.
But tries to read his mind, and it literally makes his head explode. All the information makes his head explode and kills him.
Yeah.
And then the brother has, we find out, captured all the girls that were in the Russian training program with the headmistress and is planning on using them against Black Widow. And Recluse shows up and kills him. Like, they're just written out. I was like, what?
Yeah.
No,
these major characters.
It was like, and I liked their characters. I thought they were interesting. I thought Lion going around with her was really interesting. And so it was really good.
It created an edge because she didn't know he was against her and had a history with her in the previous, her when she was a little girl, that he had a history with her, and that he had been planning all these years to get back at her, and she hires him, and she's right next to him, and he's planning on killing her, and she doesn't know it, and boom, it's all over on the moon.
That's the crazy thing. Like, that's never revealed to her.
Yeah.
He never says, like, we were those kids on your first mission.
Right.
She never knows, never finds out. It just, their plans come to an end. She realizes, obviously, that he was going to double cross her because of what happened on the moon.
Right. Exactly.
But she never finds out why, what his motivation was. I don't know, it just really subverted my expectations because I did not see that happening or it going that way. And of course the ending. What do you think about the ending with the final showdown between her and Recluse in with the girls and they were in like a bunker that there was a failsafe for S.H.I.E.L.D. that was going to
with all the 6 keys had to be turned at once. Yeah, and she wasn't gonna. She used the Recluse was gonna make her kill one of the kids, and Black Widow used that against Recluse to the girls to say,
so good.
Recluse wanted one of you dead, wanted me to choose one of you dead, whereas I'm trying to save you and keep you alive and get you deprogrammed. And that was, I thought that was really. I think you said subverted your expectations, and that's a good way to put it, because typically I was rooting for those kids dead because they were going to blow up S.H.I.E.L.D. and instead Black Widow kind of used the nurture aspect of, I want to save you. And they sided with her and got out of the bunker, and S.H.I.E.L.D. was there and said, we're going to take care of these kids and find them homes. And
it's great.
I can't remember now. I mean,
Good
I
luck
could.
for their foster parents.
I know that should be a movie like Chuck. Maybe I'll end up being like Chucky and Bride of Chucky, and but I can't remember now. Was Recluse? I can't. I mean, I could go through the whole comic and look because she and Recluse just battled
Ooh,
each other
they had some
majorly through
well,
all of issue 12.
you know, I've not read that much Black Widow, so I'm not super familiar, but she is straight up savage. Like,
Very.
she is mean and savage. And there's one part where she goes to when she confronts the headmistress and the headmistress kills herself, that she like verbally abuses Recluse and is like, you are nothing. You have never been anything. You have been in my shadow. You will never be as good as me. You will never amount to anything. You're not even worth my time to kill.
Yeah.
And leaves. And I was just like, dang. Like, she let her have it. So,
Yeah.
so Recluse has all her life always hated Black Widow because Black Widow was the best and was favored by the headmistress.
Even verbally, she's better than Recluse. I mean,
Absolutely.
she just reduces her to nothing verbally.
I mean, it was unbelievable. So it was a great end conclusion to the story, I thought.
Yeah.
I just thought the whole thing was well written. I love the fact that it was 12 issues and that was what it was planned to be. Like, you really got this. At least I didn't get the sense that it was rushed. I didn't feel like, oh no, this series is canceled. We have to wrap things up. Like, it felt like a very intentional, good pace, fun action the whole way through. 1 to 12, complete story. Don't need to know anything going in. Don't need to know anything leaving. Just a really solid series.
Right. Totally agree. Mark Waid at his typically excellent best. I don't know what part Chris Samney played in this. Maybe plotted, maybe did a little writing. Did excellent art as usual. I love his spare lines. The coloring is awesome.
Yeah,
Black
Wilson
Widow's
and
hair is especially red in this. So
a lot of grays and blacks and
like right here, the last page. Spoiler alert, this is the last page. So yeah, you can see just how red her hair really is and all the grays and blacks in it. This, just by looking at it, you can't really tell what's being given away on this last page, but it's typical of the art.
Pops so well.
Yeah.
It's just so good. Like, the whole thing is brilliant. I know I showed this page earlier, but with the fractured glass reflecting the memories that she's no longer going to have, and he's trying to read and piece together as she kills herself.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some phenomenal artwork, dude.
I have so much Mark Waid on my iPad. I should have had him sign my iPad when I went to Baltimore. That would have been cool.
That would have been awesome. I particularly enjoyed seeing Winter Soldier show up.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of Winter Soldier. I know there's a lot of Daredevil Black Widow shippers because of Frank Miller's run.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were together for a while in the comics, but I'm much more of a newer reader in terms of I didn't start reading comics really seriously until the early 2000s. So
I am not familiar.
I'm a big Winter Soldier.
I'm not familiar with Bucky's and Black Widow's relationship, so I'm going to have to look up when it happened and read about it and read the issues that had happened, because it's interesting to me that they were a couple. So I'd like to read about it.
He's been constantly looking after her.
Yeah.
She doesn't realize it. I was trying to find the art. The scenes in the snow, particularly, I thought were really excellent and really well drawn.
Actually, I'm not going to look it up. I'm just going to ask a fan.
There you go.
To put it in the comments. So thank you in advance to the fan who's going to answer my question and put it in the comments below. Thank you.
So a little bit of less to say about the art because we kind of gushed on it last time and it's the same. But ultimately, how'd you feel about the whole story? Was it compelling? As we always ask, was it compelling?
It was, because you were in the middle of taxes and I just said, well, let's just read 1 through 6 and see if we can get through that. And I loved it so much that I went ahead and read 1 through 12. I just blazed through the whole thing. So I found it very compelling. I found it to be extremely interesting and fun action. It's action packed from the very first page, but it's not one of those it's not one of those books where it's nothing but action. There's lots of feelings and emotions that go along with this thing. You get I think what they're trying to do with Black Widow now is really ratchet in some emotions into her as she makes up for whatever it is she did back as a Russian agent. There's tons of emotions where you feel for her. And I love that the enemy's name is Recluse, because there's a deadly spider that's a recluse.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? There's brown recluse.
Yeah. Ooh. And so yeah, it's really compelling. It's really interesting. I was hooked from the very beginning, and I just read 1 through 12 in one sitting. And I will say that Marvel Unlimited is really good for binging a comic, because there's no ads, and it just says keep reading, and you just hit the button. Yes, yes, yes. Vit, 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 vit.
Totally
So
agree.
it's like it's almost Netflix like, only much easier to read. Keep reading. And so yeah, I highly recommend this Black Widow by Mark Waid and Chris Samney. It's is it out in a trade paperback, or do we?
I really don't know. I genuinely don't know, because I also read it on Marvel.
Okay, let me look up real quick on Amazon to see.
While you're doing that, I'll echo your sentiments.
Okay, yeah, you say that. Yeah, go for it.
Very compelling. As somebody who I don't think could care less.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely could not care any less for the character of Black Widow. Going into this, when you recommended, I was like, Black Widow, really? Fine. And I'm leaving this going, this is amazing. This was super compelling. Couldn't stop reading. And it, even more than just a good story, it made me really like the character. It made me want to read more. It did for me, to a lesser degree, what the Immortal Iron Fist did for me, which was take a character that I just do not think is cool and really made them cool, and really made me like the character and want to read more. I can tell you this. If Mark Waid had stayed on this series for 50 issues, I would have read all 50 issues.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was that good. Like, genuinely that good. Loved every second of it. Highly recommend it to any fan of action movies, any fan of Marvel characters, and any spy fans. Any fans of spy movies or spy books. Like, this is right up your alley. And I really, really hope that they could just adapt this storyline for the Black Widow movie. I mean, if they're going to do anything for the Black Widow movie, they could literally take this entire storyline, including the flashbacks to her young life. Yeah. And that could be the movie. It's that good. Like, it could easily be the movie.
I agree with that. It's available in 2 trades. Black Widow Volume 1, Shield's Most Wanted. Black Widow Volume 2, No More Secrets. Those are both very readily available. Now, Black Widow by Waid and Samney, the complete collection, that's coming out in March. I don't know why you would need that if you've got 2 trades. Let me click on that and see what it is. It is, it's Black Widow 1 through 12. I'm not sure why you need that if you've got maybe people who like complete collections as opposed to trade paperbacks. We know lots of people who like certain niches. They'd rather have complete collections rather than skinny trades. Yeah. So that must be that. But yeah, it's readily available in trades. I urge you, if you don't have Marvel Unlimited, get this in trade paperback, because it is boss.
So good. All right. That about wraps it up. Great series. Do you want to tease what's coming next down the pipeline?
Next is a big read through that this was Tyler's idea, and I sort of expanded on it, because Tyler wanted to read X-Force. And I found out the first 14 issues in the X-Force Omni are their own story. Yeah. Then Patrick Kindervater told me that you need to read Louise Simonson's Cable and New Mutants book to lead into. Is that the first issue?
No, but it is an issue in the series. Look how good that looks.
Said you need to read Louise Simonson and Rob Lightfield's Cable and the New Mutants premiere edition. But I think Tyler's going to I bought the book, but Tyler's going to read it on Marvel Unlimited. So we're reading Cable and New Mutants and X-Force issues 1 through 14. Yes. And this is all to justify our buying the action figures.
Absolutely.
Not even gonna lie. That's the whole reason I got a whole shelf full of X-Force books and X-Force figures. So
literally, we both bought all 3 omnibus just because of these figures.
Well, I bought the X-Force omnibus to round out my Deadpool and Cable.
Okay, you already had the 2. I got all 3 for this. I got all 3 for the figures.
I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you at all.
Lost my earbud.
Oh, I'm not judging you at all.
Oh yeah.
I'm not in a position to judge you.
That's how I roll. It is amazing, and we will talk about it more in the next episode. How often I am swayed to get interested in books or series by the action figures.
That is exactly right. That's totally right. Okay, so yeah, next week, X-Force, New Mutants, Cable, action figures, just crazy nerdiness. That's us. So please leave a comment. Please subscribe. Hit the like button. Tell us about your life story. Whatever. Have a piece of cheesecake. Whatever you want to do.
The OmniDog T-bone show.
That's right. Oh, we got the jingle kind of late on that. We forgot about it. We were so excited.
Still made it in.
Okay. So. Peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you watching. Yeah, buddy.